We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Arizona Cardinals. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
This is Ajayi, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. To throw here, Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Rosen on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. On the left side, this is Stills. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards there and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They pitch it out to Johnson. 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 47 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Eagles offense back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he'll get to the 29-yard line. Brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
52-44, get ready for 57 over there.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Over here, over here.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
368.
Another chance for Dalton. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and learning all off-season about our season opener opponent.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Randy Gregory in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Gun! Detroit! Detroit!
After the interception, here's Rosen. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Garcia. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They go play action. It's Rosen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Rosen. Dancing to his left. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Des Bryant, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
368! 368!
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
59! They go 368!
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Ready? All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he finds Stills, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. To throw is Rosen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Davante Adams from 3 yards out. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dante Fowler. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Dalton here from the gun. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Passing, it's Dalton. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, this is taken in, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
We're good. We're good.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Derek Wolfe with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Dalton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target. 3rd down here. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. So Dalton now. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
368!
The final act of the first half. Dalton going for the deep ball. And my goodness, this is incomplete. So we've reached half. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. A huge play there for Arizona. And even 40 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Gone!
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
Play action here with Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rosen to throw again. It's caught. Stills, right side. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old, reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Davante Adams. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Leopard! Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
On 2nd down, Rosen. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there, a 22. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, Johnson. This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. D. Ford coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Detroit! Detroit!
On play action, Rosen. Being chased out left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham.
Partner, if we've heard it once, we've heard it 1,000 times. Don't throw late down the middle.
And he did. We see the end result.
Yeah, what you have to do is you've got to make sure you manipulate those defenders with your eyes and your head, maybe even some body movement to move them a little if you're going to come back late down the middle.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. Shoves him away. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Dalton sets up play action. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. And now to the air, Dalton. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Kevin King with a pick. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. After the interception, here's Rosen. Oh, that is going to be a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
368! There you go, 368!
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
There you go, 368.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Here's Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Ajayi. And they went the wrong way there. losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now a handoff. Johnson. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? A tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Detroit!
And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
That's 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
There you go. We're good. We're good.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. They find some open field here. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. but that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
And partner, this